Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely wild. We're breaking down a masterclass in narrative misdirection, the sacrifice of Moloch. We're not just telling a ghost story here. Oh no, we are going to pop the hood on a horror twist to see exactly how it manipulates our deepest, most basic assumptions. It's like a giant puzzle designed to trick you.
You know the saying, some shadows never die, they just wait? Well, I want you to step into the terrifying reality of a mother named Sumati. She's just living this quiet, normal life in a small village with her young daughter, Chavi. But what actually happens when an ancient evil suddenly decides to choose your family? It's the kind of premise that hooks us right away, right? Because it invades the literal one place we're supposed to feel safe.
So let's trace how this all escalates, because the pacing here is just brilliant. It starts out totally calm. Sumati is just kneading dough in her kitchen. But then look at how fast things go off the rails. Over just 24 hours, it accelerates into a relentless nightmare. From a weird drawing to a full-on home invasion, and then a totally gruesome discovery in the woods. The author literally gives the characters and us zero time to breathe, and that's totally on purpose, so we don't stop to think logically about the trap being set. Everything shatters on that ordinary afternoon when young Chavi slowly raises a trembling finger toward the front door and whispers, "He's outside, Mom. He's been waiting for us since morning." I mean, chills, right? Sumati rushes to the door and finds this bizarre red symbol painted right on the wood. It's this horned face set inside an inverted triangle. Bam! The psychological invasion has officially started. Now, the threat gets a name when the village elder Kaki sees that symbol. She tells Sumati about Moloch. He's an ancient demon that came to the village 30 years ago, specifically demanding the village's children. And honestly, this is where the narrative trick really kicks in. By establishing Moloch as an entity that exclusively goes after kids, the story totally plants this rescue mission idea in our heads. We're thinking, okay, we have to save the child. That assumption is the absolute foundation of the trap. Fast forward to the very first night, and the sensory dread is already peaking. A violent gust of wind bursts the window wide open. A lantern crashes to the floor. Suddenly, you're in complete darkness. And then, lightning flashes. Chavi is standing there, but her eyes are completely white, and this unearthly voice echoes out of her saying, "She belongs to me." It's visceral, terrifying proof that these old legends are 100% real. The panic keeps ramping up the next morning. Sumati finds this trail of black ash, and it leads deep into the forest right to a dead tree. And hanging there, a handmade straw doll woven with Chavi's actual hair. It's basically a horrifying summons. It means a part of Chavi's soul has already been claimed. In horror terms, this is where our ticking clock starts. So naturally, Sumati's first instinct is to pack up and flee. But then Kaki drops this stark warning on her. 30 years ago, my son was chosen too. I tried to escape. Moloch followed us. That right there, that effectively slams the narrative trap shut. Running away is off the table, which forces Sumati, and by extension, us, into this really desperate high-stakes siege. Trapped, Sumati goes into full survival mode. She barricades the doors, pushes a massive wardrobe against the entrance, lights every single candle, and resolves to ignore anything she hears. You know, we all crave that false sense of security during a crisis, and the author totally feeds it to us here. We really think Sumati's done everything right to keep the outside world out. That is, until every single candle in the house goes out at the exact same time. So now it's pitch black. A heavy, suffocating silence fills the house. And then, boom. Heavy, deliberate footsteps. Boom. The entire door rattles violently in its frame. Boom. The barricade completely shatters. That massive wardrobe is literally hurled across the room like it weighs nothing. And the door slowly creaks open. And here is where the story brilliantly pulls the rug out from under us. The thing that steps through the door, it isn't some towering horned monster. It's Kaki, but her eyes are pitch black. Our trusted wise elder archetype was compromised the whole time. She just smiles this chilling smile and whispers, "Kaki gave up years ago." And before Sumati can even process this massive betrayal, Kaki strikes her and everything goes black. When Sumati finally wakes up, her daughter is gone. Running on pure, desperate maternal instinct, she tracks these weird whispers deep into the dark forest. She stumbles upon this ancient ritual site.
There's a glowing symbol carved right into the earth, and Chavi is lying motionless in the center while Keiki chants. Glowing smoke is rising from Chavi's body, swirling together to form a towering shape with burning red eyes. Moloch. Sumati charges in, shoves Keiki to the ground, and breaks the ritual. The smoke just vanishes. For a split second, she thinks she's won. But then, Chavi opens her eyes, and they are glowing crimson red. This horrifying, knowing smile spreads across the little girl's face, and she delivers the twist that shatters the entire story. Moloch never wanted my sacrifice. Okay, let's really unpack the brilliance of this misdirection. For the entire story, the author was totally exploiting our own cognitive bias to protect the vulnerable child. The lore, the scary straw doll, the white eyes, all of it was just a massive smokescreen. The false target was Chavi. She was just the bait. The true sacrifice? It was always Sumati. The demon weaponized a mother's fierce, protective love just to lure her out of her safe home and straight into the dark. He used me to bring you here, Chavi explains. You see, the demon didn't just want any life. It specifically required the potent power of a pure mother who willingly walked right into the darkness to save her child. As Chavi's life fades away for good, Sumati is left completely alone, utterly broken in that dark forest. Moloch stands right behind her, slowly raising a glowing staff. Her scream echoes through the trees, and then absolute silence. So the trap was flawless because it used human virtue against itself. When an ancient entity, or even a brilliantly written narrative, feeds on the cyclical nature of love and sacrifice, it really forces us to ask a tough question. What other blind spots do our deepest devotions create? Does the terrifying cycle of ancient evil ever truly end? Or is there another shadow out there just waiting for the perfect moment to use our own hearts against us? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep your eyes open, and I'll catch you next time.
And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe to USA Horror 01 for more terrifying horror stories.